Hey everyone, this is Jordan with Sith Saber Props. I'm here to present a new lightsaber install I've completed. This is an Sabers Ganodi hilt. Sabers is a Spain-based lightsaber manufacturer who specializes in making hilts based off of obscure Clone Wars characters. Ganodi being one of the youngling Jedi characters we saw in Season 5 of the show. I'm neither here nor there on the show. Personally, I don't really like it, but I actually do like the lightsaber designs that came from the show, and this one is definitely a very nice saber design. I originally got it because I thought it would act as a nice companion piece to my Fallen Saber, as it follows the standard lightsaber design model. The standard model simply being a cylindrical hand grip with the button placed upwards of the mid-center point, so a little more towards the emitter, and a flared emitter, really providing simple use of the saber and the weapon itself, versus something a little more specialized like this, something that would be more specialized towards Makashi or Nyman, or maybe even this, something that's more specialized towards Form 5's Gem. So these sabers are very much not specialized. They are meant as the standard design model. Anyone who can use a lightsaber can use these, and really this one's clearly based off of the Form 1 lightsaber mold, Shiisho. The basic form, the way of the Sarlacc, it is the standard first lightsaber form that anyone would go ahead and use, and as such is a good ground to build off of, and that is true for the saber. Whether or not you become a Nyman specialist, or maybe you go ahead and move towards Artaru, this lightsaber can be used for just about any one of the lightsaber forms, and it is very serviceable for that purpose. But in real-world terminology, it's a very nice lightsaber. The finish on it is very smooth. It probably has to do with the coating finish that Sabers went ahead and did, rather than the actual properties of the composite alloys and the aluminum that went into making this hilt. It's a very stunningly smooth finish, actually. I very much enjoy it. It's nice to just hold. Now, this saber's already spoken for, so this video will act as an operating guide and an owner's manual for the new owner of this lightsaber. And to go ahead and start with that, what we can clearly see examining the hilt is we have two knobs right here. Only one of them's a button and the other one's the kill key. This saber runs a Crystal Focus 10 in the single switch mode. So to go ahead and boot up the saber, we pull the kill key and you'll hear a boot sound. To start the saber, press the switch once, just a light press. And to turn it off, hold it until you hear the retraction. There you go. Turn it on. When you turn the saber on and you press the button once, you get your auxiliary blaster sounds. When you swing the saber and press the button, you will get a force sound. And when you clash the saber and press the button, you will get a lockup. You have to hold the button down to do the lockup. Start this again. If you want to start in muted mode, hold the button down while the saber's off until you hear the first beep and then let go. And then hold it again to turn it off, and you'll hear sound restored to the saber. Now, if you want to go ahead and switch through the sound fonts, you hold down the button until you hear the second beep, and then the sound bank selection vocal menu prompt.
Sound bank selection.
To move forward throughout the sound fonts, you can press the button once, or turn the hilt clockwise. And to move backwards, turn the hilt counterclockwise. Holds down the button until you hear the boot sound, and that will confirm your selection. To get into the lightsaber spectrum, twist the hilt and press the button. This turning the hilt like a motorcycle throttle will allow you to select what color you want. Holding down the button pressing the button once will select that color. To get into the blade profiles, which allows you to change the shimmer and pulse of the blades to the preset configurations I made. Twist it again, get into the color spectrum. Now, hold down the button instead of pressing it, and now you're in blade profiles, and that allows you to change the flicker on the saber. It's easier to see if you take the blade plug out or if you put a blade in, and then press it again to select, and hold it to turn it off. Let's put the kill key back in. Now, just so you know, for your operating use, whenever you go ahead and take the kill key out, always make sure you put that in a safe place in your pocket or where you normally store the saber. That way you don't lose it. The saber will run into a deep sleep mode after 5 minutes with the kill key out and not being used, and that will give you about 18 months of shelf life and battery life on a fully charged battery, but it's good to keep the kill key in there just to prevent dust, dirt, and debris from getting in the recharge port, and also for the aesthetic purposes. As you can see, it fits the aesthetics of the saber. Now, this saber has something special. I went ahead and made a custom crystal chamber for this lightsaber. So to go ahead and expose that, what we do is we go ahead and unthread the entire emitter right here. It's got some very nice threading, and it's not super long, but the crystal chamber itself is actually recessed into this part of the lightsaber. So you have about 2/3 of the full crystal chamber exposed. There you go. Let's go ahead and take a look. So, my video cut out, but as you can see, the crystal stays on while the blade is off. To change the color of the crystal, you change the color of the blade. So let's go ahead and start a muted mode, or actually a regular. There you go. It's a very simple crystal chamber, and I'm very happy with it. Custom cut and faceted quartz crystal. Now, a few things about the warranty of this saber. The warranty, of course, does not cover swinging this lightsaber around with enough force to break the crystal chamber while it's exposed in this way. The crystal chamber's sturdy and it's secured in there very well, but if you swung this against something hard, like a desk, and you hit that, you're of course going to damage the saber. You could bend it backwards, you could damage the crystal chamber. These are aluminum rods holding it in place. Aluminum being a soft metal. Of course, they're very sturdy for this purpose, but you can bend them backwards with enough force, so please don't do that. And you can also misalign the crystal, which itself is pressure fit in here. Another thing, I have a set screw right here. Removing that set screw and removing the crystal chamber voids the warranty on this saber. That set screw holds in the entire upper crystal chassis assembly, which goes all the way down to here. And by unthreading that and removing it, you void the warranty on the saber, so just don't go ahead and do so. Of course, we have a second hole right here, and that's actually for some nice sound venting, so that way when you hold the saber, you can feel the sound come out and vibrate through that hole. Now, to go ahead and get to the lower chassis, we of course pull the kill key, and we unthread the pommel. Cup your hand underneath this, and go ahead and give it a nice little shake or two. A downward shake. There we go. I'm sorry, I didn't have enough space for a downward shake, but go ahead and you just give it a downward shake like that, and this will come out. Normally what I do is I immediately go ahead and I replace the kill key once I start taking out the chassis. Now we're able to go ahead and see the electronics. Here you have your soundboard with your SD card. Press it, and you can go ahead and remove that, and you can plug that into a computer and update your sound fonts or change board settings. This board, of course, I went ahead and made the saber, I have 32 color presets and blade profiles for the saber, as well as a large, quite a plethora of sound fonts for the client. As this was a personal project and not a commission, I would put all the sound fonts on my own saber. So he's getting a good amount of sound fonts for his saber. So, you know, this is ready to go right out of the box with an extremely large number of customization options and capabilities without having to remove the SD card. But you can move the SD card and change anything however you'd like. However, again, warranty's voided if you go ahead and swing this around with the chassis exposed. I don't know anyone who would do that, but just, you know, don't do it. To go ahead and recharge the saber, make sure you have it exposed in this fashion, as the hole right here doesn't have enough clearance for the recharge port to fit all the way in. And go ahead and plug in the recharge port, just like that. And that will start charging your saber for you. Go ahead and unplug it, and you have the boot sound, and then you're all set to go ahead and use it. Now, of course, I will be shipping a charger with the saber, but it will be shipped with a fully charged battery, so that should give you probably about 3 or so hours worth of continuous use with the saber on, but you'll have about 18 months of shelf life with the fully charged battery. To go ahead and put the chassis back in, push it in, make sure you line up the hole, the recharge port with the recharge port hole. Go ahead and push the chassis in about that far. Take the pommel and do the rest of the work with it. Push it in and then start threading it. Never push on the speaker with your finger. That could damage the speaker. You can leave skin oils on it, and of course, that will, you know, void the warranty for the speaker at least. Let's go ahead and put the kill key back in. Let's actually take it out again. Take another look at the crystal chamber. Kill key in. Start threading the saber. I also went ahead and made a custom blade plug for this lightsaber, one that we can see right here. And to go ahead and remove the blade plug, you will need an Allen key. I'll be including one with the saber, and that will allow you to remove the blade plug or a blade. Go ahead and just unthread it some. Now the blade plug itself will just slide right out. If it doesn't slide right out, if you can't get it out, you can just go ahead and stick the Allen key right in the center hole, hook it and pull. And then you can go ahead and put a blade in. As so. Push it down all the way. And thread it into place.
Sound effect selection.
So there you have it. That's the saber complete. It's a very nice hilt. I had a very enjoyable time doing the install, especially the crystal chamber. It's very satisfying to use, very satisfying to hold. A very simple but elegant saber. The finish on it is amazing, and I'm happy with it. If I didn't already line up a buyer, I think this would definitely be a saber I'd keep. And it's a very unique saber. I've never seen another one exactly like it. Of course, it follows the very standard lightsaber design model. Just conical, the cylindrical grip, conical pommel, flared emitter. You know, it's a very standard lightsaber, but it's a very unique lightsaber. Atom Sabers, I believe, closed down their Etsy shop right after I acquired this, and I can't find any other way to get their sabers anymore. I don't think you can get them off their website, so this might really be a one-of-its-kind type of saber. I've never seen another one of these before. Never seen someone of the same exact hilt posted in any of the Facebook groups or really anywhere online. So, you know, I hope the new owner is happy with it. I hope he treats it with care and really appreciates, you know, how unique this hilt is, especially when compared to, you know, big companies like Saberforge, Ultra Sabers. Plenty of people can go ahead and get a you know, Vader's Vault Fury, but no one, you know, only a few people can have this. Thank you for watching, and may the Force serve you well.